Good evening, dear all. Welcome to English Without Borders Thursday series of webinars. And we are very happy to see all of you joining via Zoom and also via Facebook. So we are so happy to see that you are going to invest your 1 hour time for getting the latest news and latest trends in English language teaching. And this is really great that lots of teachers from different parts of our country and from other countries as well, they are devoting their time for self-education and also just for enhancement opportunities. So, and today I'm double happy to introduce our speaker. So she's an active EWB member, and she is Ganjina Guzanfarova, and today she will talk about what should the teacher bring into the classroom. This is a very good topic because, you know, we quite often think, okay, I need to bring textbooks, I need to bring visuals, aids, and so many, but yeah, let's see what our speaker will bring today to our webinar. And let me share some information about the speaker. Ganjina Guzanfarova is a highly experienced English teacher with over 20 years of teaching experience in Tajikistan. She holds a degree in English language teaching from Tajik State Pedagogical University and deeply understands the latest teaching methodologies. Ganjina is passionate about helping her students learn English and has a proven track record of success. She is also a certified interpreter and has experience working with medical students in the United States. In addition to her teaching experience, Ganjina has participated in several professional development opportunities, including a course in English for academic purposes and a certificate program in communicative methods in teaching English language for foreign students. She is also a certified TKT and sales teacher. And let's greet Ganjina. And Ganjina, welcome to English Without Borders. So we are very happy that every time you come with some interesting topics and share your experience and best practices with EWB audience. Thank you so much. Dear all, please use this chance to leave your questions in the chat box to our speaker. And after her presentation, we will address these questions to our speaker. So get engaged and enjoy the webinar. Thank you so much, and over to you, Ganjina.
So, good evening, everyone, dear colleagues, dear co-teachers from different parts of Tajikistan and maybe out of the country. Today, I'm very happy that I have the, another opportunity to participate in this webinar and to share the my pedagogical, we can say, behavior with you. And today's topic that we are having today is a little bit huge, we can say, with the huge information. So I think that when you look at the topic, and the topic is like, what should the teacher bring into the classroom? And this is a very wide topic. And the first thing that comes to our mind, I think that everyone can say that that is what we need to teach. And I would like you maybe you write in the chat. Maybe you can share your, and we can see your opinions. What do you usually bring into the classroom where you teach the language? So if it is possible, can you please write your answers to this question? And I quickly look through the chat and I see what do you have there. So teachers usually, if they have 3 lessons in a week, so what do they usually bring into the classroom? So English teachers, I mean. So if you have answers, can you please write them in the chat? And you'll see what are they.
Good afternoon, dear Ganjina and other members who are joining the webinar today. I think it's good evening already, yes?
I don't hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
I don't hear her.
You don't hear me?
No, I don't hear you.
Wow. Okay, then I will try to be connected later. Maybe I will use my headphones.
Okay, so you bring with you books, yeah? So you bring with you a very simple thing, marker. Yes. So first thing that comes to your mind, you say that, oh, I need to take marker with me because I need to write on the board. Then you say, oh, I need this textbook because you can say that I need the textbook because I have to use some task from this book, from this textbook, yeah. And okay, maybe you have some other items that you need to teach the language. So the topic that we are going to, Mihri wrote that smartphone stickers, notes, chalks, books. Yes, very good. So these are the things that we usually bring into the classroom. So in today's presentation, as far as I know, all the members of the webinar.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
So I want to answer this question.
Okay.
First of all, hello, dear Ganjina.
Okay.
Thank you for such interesting topic. I think it's going to be interesting. So when we think about this question, like what should the teacher bring into the classroom? We think about some objects, something material.
Okay.
But I think that indeed a teacher should bring to the class good mood, some good atmosphere. A teacher should come with great lesson plan, with a lot of activities, something interesting for her students.
Okay, very good. So we are close to the topic. Yes, thank you very much. So Abdulkhalik Saburov wrote that we bring to the classroom the first of the objectives of the lesson. Yes. So if you do not have your objective, so there can't be conducted a very good resultable lesson. Yeah. So let's move to the what is the most important thing that we are going or we will talk about today. Now let's see. Here we have the in today's presentation, we'll talk about the things that you should bring into class. Yeah. So this question we looked at that what would come to your mind first? So of course, textbooks, everything that we have to carry with you to the class, yes, starting from your lesson plan. If you don't have your lesson plan, if you don't have your objective, if you don't have the items you need in class, so you think that the lesson is not good. Now, can you please have a look at these photos? Here I have some photos, and what do you think, what can be our presentation mainly be focused on?
So I think it's kind of student-centered class, engaged students, activities. Okay. Yes.
So everywhere are teachers, yeah? And can you please look at the students? Okay, good learning environment. Very good. Thank you very much. Good learning environment. What else? Are all the people in the class, both teachers and students, happy? They are, yeah? Yes, they are. So they are happy. What are they doing? So they are happy. What are they learning? And here are different classes of different teachers, and you can see there everything. Now let's move on and see what is the most important thing that we are going to talk about today. It is the answer to the question. So when we go into the class, except of your books, your lesson plan, your objective, your marker, your eraser, what do you have to bring into the class? You have to bring into the class three main important things. Even I can't say them things because this is the behavior of the teacher, this is the thought of the teacher, and this is the atmosphere that based on these three important components can be, we can say, can be fruitful lesson be done. So what are those three important things? So of all of those that I have, I can say I have seen, and I have seen in my teaching, so I come to conclusion that except of those things that we have mentioned before, so the pedagogical attitude is the first thing that we have to bring into the class. Then our psychological motivation, or somehow we can say the psychological love, we have to bring into the class. Then we have to bring into the class the knowledge that in reality students need. So you have to bring into the class the need of the students. So what do they really need to learn? So these are the three things that I have found out during my teaching, during my lessons that I'm conducting up to now. And I think that except of the items, except of the lesson plan, and except everything that you write, you prepare, so you have to have these three important things with you. If you do not have this one, so I can't see that, I can't say that there is a good lesson that can be conducted. So now let's see the first one, that is the pedagogical attitude. So we can look at the, we can say the definition. What does mean the pedagogical attitude mean? As far as I know, all of we are teachers, so we have studied at the university as a specialist of teacher, and we have the subject that was pedagogy, and that subject gave us everything in order to be a good teacher in the future. So the pedagogical attitude should be created in teachers from the very beginning when they start teaching. Otherwise, they can face with many different problems while teaching the language, even not only the language, the other subject. So I can quickly read what is the pedagogical attitude. It is a matter of relating to the student's actual and potential existence. It is clarifying the two-dimensional approach that Verba uses in this concept. So to include here means that one person experiences a relational process from both sides of the relationship. So here we have the actual and potential existence, and I think that it is the student's actual potential existence. It is clear for all of us as teachers. So, and the pedagogical attitude here is very important because the teacher has to be what? So he has these three reflective teachers. Teacher's pedagogical attitude. So first, the teacher has to be what? Open-mindedness. So the second, the teacher has to be the wholeheartedness. And the last one, the teacher should carry out responsibility of the lesson from the very beginning till the end. So I would like you just from your experience of teaching, tell me, so in your opinion, what does it mean an open-minded teacher? Who is he? Who is the teacher who is an open-minded?
Can I? The
Yeah, of
teacher
course.
who is open, who is ready to give all her knowledge to students in a very simple and touching way, that the students will get it very easily. I think all that the teacher knows should be given to the students in a different way, like involving them, motivating them. So the open-minded
Mindedness teacher.
Yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So wholeheartedness. Is there someone who can tell us who is the teacher who has the attitude of reflection like wholeheartedness? Do we have any?
In my opinion, wholeheartedness, wholehearted. Yes, I think wholehearted teacher is a teacher who just teach from the bottom of her heart. Like she likes her job and she's teaching with pleasure. And I think that it's a wholehearted. And about mindedness, if a teacher is open minded, I think teacher Munawara, yes, shared her opinion. I think that the open-minded teacher is also a teacher who is open with her students. Like whenever, maybe I can be wrong, but let me say my opinion. Maybe so. We have different students in our class. Yes, like some of them may be weak, some of them may be strong in something. But whenever we apprise them, so we should think that are they valued to this like uprising. So if they are not doing great, so we shouldn't say like that, we shouldn't apprise them or put them higher marks. Is it like this? We should be open with them, like if they are weak in something, we should say them directly and they should work on it. Am I right? Like
Yes. So Shoira wrote that the teacher who can listen his or her students. Okay, it is the teacher who is open-minded, or it is the teacher who is wholeheartedness? Shoira. So Abduholik wrote that wholeheartedness is to be so kind to students. Yeah, Mihri wrote that to support the students. Okay, very good. Thank you. So, and the last one is the responsibility. So what do we mean by being responsible in the class? What is that? Let's see who can help us with this word. So responsibility in the class, it is kind of attitude of a teacher.
So as a teacher, of course, we are responsible for our students' education, first of all, I think. So because some of them are, not some of them, but whole students, no, not some of them are forced by their parents, but majority of them come with some aims. So, and we are responsible to help them to achieve their goals. Like we are responsible to teach them, we are responsible to deliver the material which we have clearly. We have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, we have a lot of responsibilities in the class and out of the class. Yeah. Now, let's see. Attitudes of reflective teachers, that open-mindedness, wholeheartedness, and responsibility. So you covered this topic, yeah? So you gave me the, we can say, the answer to this question. So those open-mindedness teachers, these are the teachers who can understand, we can say, the behavior of the students. So those teachers who are open-minded, not only in the language that they are teaching, so they are open-minded as a teacher. So when they bring something into the class, so they have to know that who are they working with? So who is the audience there? So what do they really want? So, and the open-mindedness always help teachers to create you can say, the atmosphere in the class that is very fruitful. It is the atmosphere where the teacher, sometimes it happens that our students, for example, when so we know that the system of education, so the control of the class is very difficult, and the first thing that we do, we are controlling the class while we're teaching, even if we have any kind of activity. So the open-minded teacher, for example, if, for example, the student's pen fall down, so, and that student is afraid to ask you, so can I pick up my pencil or my pen or something that fall down? So sometimes the open-minded teachers, so what do? They help, they come up to the student, they take that thing or pick up that thing and give it to the student. Or what do? They just tell the students, so take your things, So this is the open-minded teacher. So the teacher has what? The teacher has both sides, teacher and friend. So you have to show your students that you're teaching, but at the same time, you're as person. So you have the same, for example, criteria of life that they have. So there's only sometimes there's only the age differences between teachers and students. If you have, for example, school children, so this is the age difference. But sometimes the open-minded teacher, they have to show that the student has the same right in the class as a person, as the teacher. So you do not have to push them that I'm giving you the activity and you have to do this activity. So if you follow the strategies of the pedagogy, so you have to have your pedagogical attitude. And this is very helpful when the students, they feel that the teacher is understanding what is happening. Some problems that are arising in the class during the lesson, and teachers do not let their students to do it, so it is not good. So you have to create the atmosphere where the student can do their work, something they have to do, for example, and you understand them, you go into the situation and you make them to feel that you are the kind of person like they are. And this is the open-mindedness of the teacher. So if we talk from the side of the knowledge, so teachers, they have to have more information about the topic that they bring into the class. So you do not have to follow only the lesson plan that you have, the syllabus that you have. So you have to have more information, because during the lesson, there can be a question from the side of the student, and you have to answer to the question politely. And you have to say that this is the answer. And if you do not have that answer, you have to say that I don't have the answer, and I may bring you the answer next lesson. So this is the open-mindedness of the teacher. And the student should understand that this is okay if the teacher doesn't know, but the teacher shouldn't say that you do not have to ask me that kind of question. So do what I give you. So this is not the open-mindedness of the teacher. So the second one is the wholeheartedness. It means that what you give them, you have to give them, as you said, from the deep of your heart. So we usually say that we have to do different activities. We have to, you have to play with the students. We have to do something like that, something like that. So the class has to be what? Active. But if all these things are not bringing into the class or are not brought into the class without love, without understanding of the students, you won't take back anything. So sometimes you should understand who is your student. So the activity that you do, is it okay for that student or not? So you have to understand their position. So you have to understand what they like, what they don't like. So some children, they are, for example, when they come to the class, they are tired. Some children, when they come in the morning into the class, you don't know what happened in their home when they come to the class. So you have to know that if you come into the classroom, first of all, you understand. So this wholeheartedness, it is a very short conversation with your students before giving them the new topic. So give them the atmosphere that they feel themselves happy in your class and to take what you give them. And the last one is the responsibility. It is, of course, the responsibility. It is to be responsible for each student in your class. It is your eye contact. It is your movement in the class. It is not like your, we can say, responsibility. It is here like you're responsible for everything you do in class. So every single word that you say, every single gesture that you do, you have to be responsible for that. So it is not like you're showing the student like with your, we can say, demonstrating in that person. Yes, so the attitude you show that you are just hide that person. So your responsibility, it is your behavior, it is your speech, it is your movement in the class that gives them. Sometimes teachers, they even don't speak, but the students, the learners are afraid of that. So when the teacher comes into the class, so the students are quiet, no speaking. It is it is the open-mindedness of the teacher, it is the wholeheartedness of the teacher, and it is the responsibility of the teacher. So these are the three attitudes that we have to bring into the class. So if you have any questions, we can discuss them and we go further. No questions? Okay, now let's see the second, we can say second important component I can say that is psychological motivation. And in brackets, I wrote there love, if you have mentioned. So what is the psychological motivation of the teachers? Here I have the definition. And can you please tell me, dear teachers, dear colleagues, what is your psychological motivation? Being a teacher, and when you go into the class, what is that? Is it your lesson plan? Is it your subject you're teaching? Is it the topic that you have according to that lesson? So what is that? It is the whole syllabus that you have. Can you please tell us? What is your psychological motivation? No answers?
So, psychological motivation, and as you mentioned, the break it love. So I mostly got the meaning of love. Then psychological motivation, maybe it's something that you do with love. Maybe when you apprise your students, when you make some jokes with them, when you motivate them with different activities which are pleasant for them. Maybe this kind of motivation.
Okay, others, can you please share?
Maybe it's like learning. It's like having different approach to every student, based on their learning style. Maybe it's
Okay,
like
this is also, yes. So psychology, pedagogy, this is what should every teacher should have, yes? Yeah, so if we don't have we can say we are not aware of psychology, we don't know what is psychology, and if we don't know what is pedagogy, so the lesson plan can't help us.
I think that when a teacher teach in her class for a long time, not for a long time, even after 2 or 3 months, so you can understand the psychology of your students, like what kind of students they are, like their attitude towards some activities. You can learn them by you can understand their learning styles, like how do they better get the materials. But about psychological motivation, it's very interesting. So to know it now.
Okay, now let's see. What is here the psychological motivation? So you have read the definition, I think. Yes, you look at it. And now let's see what are those two types of motivation. So two types of motivation that today teachers have. The first one is intrinsic, and the second one extrinsic. This motivation are very important in teaching, and all teachers all over the world, whether he is an English teacher, Russian teacher, physics, I don't know. So the motivation is the most important thing. Yeah. So we are motivated with something. We have to be motivated in order to be, in order to have those upper mentioned components like open-mindedness, yes, responsibility, and another one is wholeheartedness. So what are these two important things? These are intrinsic and the extrinsic. So what is the intrinsic? It is the motivation that desire to engage in activity for its own sake or for satisfying one's values, curiosity, purpose, or challenge. So what do we mean by that? So what do you mean that intrinsic? So it means that you don't care about anything. You just think about your students. You just think about what should you bring to your students in order to give them more knowledge. So you don't think about the values of the lesson. You don't think about the things that are happening outside. You are just satisfying with the things that you have. You see? So the extrinsic, it is kind of motivation that it is the outside factor that influence teachers, like rewards, teachers' evaluations, and student test scores. You see? It is the same with kids. For example, they draw something, yes? And one time they do it, the second time they do the third one, and they see that it doesn't work, they say, no, I don't draw anymore. But if you say that, okay, you draw this one, I give you one chocolate, yes, then you draw the second time, so, oh, it is, even if it is not good, you say, so I give you 2 chocolates, you see? And then he says, if I draw the third time, I will have 3 chocolates, you see? So it is the, we can say, the outside factor influence that teachers have. And the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation of teachers is very important in teaching, that what you bring into the class. Now, again, we come back to the conversation, and I would like you, I mean, who are those participants here, teachers? Can you please tell me to which type of these motivations do you include yourself? So the intrinsic one or extrinsic one? Which one?
Can I say?
Yeah.
I, for example, always go for intrinsic motivation because in the long run, intrinsic motivation will charge extrinsic motivation, and extrinsic motivation will appear in your life without any efforts.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Others?
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I consider myself as an intrinsic. Yes, I have this kind of intrinsic motivation. So according to nowadays situation that is happening around the world, so I know that mostly teachers, they schools, because they have, do you hear me? Because they have kind of extrinsic motivation, because mainly money and career impact on their lives, and yes, they are not satisfied with their wages, with their salary, so they just leave the schools. But mainly, I think that teachers are supposed to be they have to have intrinsic motivation, so that it it develops the community, develops our students so that they can create and develop their country. And so I think that intrinsic motivation is more important than extrinsic motivation. So it is my point of view.
Thank you. Others, can you please share your ideas with us?
Okay, may I?
Yeah, of course.
I'm using both of them. They are really so important, and I'm using the first motivation in my class so much because when we motivate our students, they love the lesson, they love teacher, they love everything, and I'm using encourage words in my lesson so much. Sometimes I'm shaking their hands, I'm tapping on their back, and I'm using a lot of encourage words, and it's motivate them so much. And also, I have such kind of students that they have different character, and sometimes I became so tired of them, and I think that they cannot get anything, and I'm leaving, and I'm stopping to working with them. But when I'm meeting their parents, when I'm talking with them, it gives me another methods, and then I'm working with their character, and I'm using another different of motivation, because another different kind of encouraging words for them, because they need another, because they have such kind of problems at home, and they have different characters, and I'm working with them using another more encouraging words with them, and then it works so successfully. I had a lot of students such kind of this character, and it was so good, and they became success.
Okay, thank you. Are there
Can I
others?
also
Because
say
in
my
being
opinion?
intrinsic, can you please?
Yes, so when you talked about both of them, I consider myself to the intrinsic motivated teacher as
Teacher.
well. Yes, we are talking about teacher. So
Yeah.
now, because when I thought about this statement, like about this sentence, why did I consider myself to this one? Because I teach for myself. Like I like teaching, and I'm doing it not because of some kind of rewards, because of some other teacher evaluation or any scores. They are not important for me. I'm just teaching. Even I have a free speaking club where I teach for nothing, like because I like doing it. I do it because I love it. And even I can bring an example recently, even not a week ago, last week, yes, last week, my student got the third place in the Republic Olympiada. But unfortunately, I do not teach at school. And as you know, whenever a student gets a place, so those teachers who works at school, they are mostly promoted. But that teacher, that the teacher who teach that students at school, she congratulated me and say that thank you so much, my trainer, because I also trained her in EWB workshop, you see. And that's why I want to say that, like, some kind of teacher evaluation, however, so it was pleasant for me. But when they published this announcement, it wasn't so important for me, like, why my name isn't there. You see, I do it because I'm intrinsic motivated.
Thank you. So Sarah Jessica Rosted, I think both kinds of this motivation are important, and I use both of them in class, you see? So it says that they're interchange, intrinsic and extrinsic, yes? Are there other opinions, or should we continue? Are there other opinions? Who else is there? Because this is the most important part of teaching, the motivation, and what kind of motivation you have. It is the most important thing that covers everything. No, let's see. As Sarah wrote there, that I use both of them, they are both needed. So teachers should pay attention to both of them. Intrinsic and extrinsic, these are two kinds of motivation that we can say desirable to have. So teachers all over the world, it is not only in Tajikistan, but it's for all teachers in the world. So the very important, I mean, the basic thing that is the reward, yeah. So evaluation, student scores, yes. And the basic thing, it is the salary of the teachers. Yeah, if we do not hide this problem. So I can't say that is a problem, but anyway, so salary, when you love your subject, when you love your children, when you love what you do, what you give them, or what you do give them, so when you enter into the classroom, you forget about that. Yes? Do you agree with me? So it means that the intrinsic one somehow how that extrinsic one. Because when you go into the classroom and when you see the children you really love, the passion for the learning, and you see that when you give them and they are happy, so the extrinsic part is disappearing. You see? So sometimes, for example, you are looking for your lessons. So sometimes when you have a long holiday, you say, so when go to the school, when to teach. So this is the, we can say when the pedagogical and psychological, we can say attitude has developed on the very high level. So, but there are some teachers that the extrinsic one is higher than the intrinsic one. And when the extrinsic one goes higher than the intrinsic one, students will suffer, or we can say students suffer, because the thing that you have in your mind, this is the reward, this is the evaluation, this is the score, and this is at last the salary. You see? So your mind is busy with something else. But somehow an intrinsic one, it happens when, for example, you give the homework to your students. Yes, you give them, for example, a lot of things. You give them knowledge, and you give them the homework by the end of the lesson. And the next day when they come to the class and they just say two things, that I didn't do my homework. Yeah. There is the extrinsic one goes upper. You think that, so why should I do it? They don't do anything. Why should they bring this kind of thing into the class when they do not assess it, when they do not evaluate, so when they do not do their homework? You see? And in this case, the wholeheartedness, the responsible and the open-minded teacher shouldn't pay attention to that. So not to let the extrinsic part to go upper than the intrinsic one. And this is the very huge influence on teachers. And of course, we need awards, we need evaluation, we need the scores that are very important one. But if we rely on this part, so the part of the students, the learners will suffer. So for that, the intrinsic one is very important, and we have to take balance. The balance is to pay attention, but take you up than the one that we can see the career of teachers giving to you. And the last one is what we have here. What do you have to bring into the class? This is the knowledge needed. Knowledge needed, it means that knowledge that is used in everyday life of students. Everyday life, it means that they can use it. It is based on my own, we can say, experience. So we write our lesson plan, we have our syllabus, but the thing that we have to do, we have to think about our students. So what do they really need? So the text, so usually we say that we have to adapt the text, we have to adapt the material that we bring into the classroom. And here, after the adaptation, you also have to think about, do my students need it? So knowledge bringing into the class, it is not about like 100 types of activities, games that you bring and they're running around the class, they're doing something, and at the end of the lesson, when they leave the classroom, nothing. You can give them one activity, and that activity has to be fruitful. You have to do with them one task, and that one task has to be needed so they can use it. You can bring to the classroom not the topic that you think is good, but you have to think that the topic that you bring into the class, it is very useful for my students and they can use it in their everyday life. You see, sometimes when you give your students, for example, a task, and it happens with me, my last week lessons. So we have one topic like a week before, and then after the week, I came into the lesson and we had the new topic. And 3/4 of my students said that, teacher, can we go back to that topic that we discussed because we would like to speak more on that topic. You see, I left everything and I go back. I went back to that topic that was interesting for them. So we discuss it. I know that I had my lesson plan. I know that I have my program, but things that they need. And they discussed and they used the language that was useful for them. And they got something from the lesson and they were happy and I was happy. If I said that, oh, no, we don't, because we have the new topic, we have to do this one because it is according to the syllabus, according to my lesson plan. So you have to follow what I bring into the classroom or I brought into the classroom. So some of them would be disappointed. They wouldn't do the tasks, and always you have to go what the students want according to their wish, according what do you see that your student like it, and you have to do that, and it is very important. So the knowledge that in reality can be used for students. So sometimes there's kind of topics that you prepare yourself, and when you come into the class, you give them the activity and there is no reaction. You see, it means that they are not interested in the topic, so they do not have enough information on that, and it is not interesting for them at all. And for that task, for that, we can say reason, we have to bring into the class the knowledge that they really need. Now, I would like you to go back to the I need to go back to my first here. Can you please look at it, and we will make a short summary, conclusion of the presentation that I had. What should the teachers bring into the classroom? So can you please identify, looking at these photos, do the teachers have their pedagogical attitude? Are the teachers open-minded? Are the teachers, I mean the instructors, are they wholeheartedness? So are they, we can say, interested in their lessons or not? And what is the feeling of the students? If there is any, can you please?
Okay. As we can see in the photos, so there are different teachers, yes, first of all. Yes. So, and each of them, I think, creating a friendly environment in their class, except the one who is teaching individually. I don't know how he feels, but others are they are just managing their class, like they have different tables setting up. Some of the teachers, so in the first and second pictures, we can see that the teachers let them students feel them equally with them, like they are sitting with them, joining them with their activities.
Okay.
So, and the third picture, we can see an active classroom where all students are engaged, like they are very active. So that is what I can see.
Okay. Others? The students are enjoying Farzona roads. Here we have Sarah. I think so. This is about the motivation. So, okay. So now let's see. The first picture that I put here, this is the wholeheartedness. This is the responsibility, I mean, from my left hand, a teacher sitting with her students. She's like a mate of the girl. So what does she show here? What is here? What do you see here? Is it the, we can say, responsibility of the teacher, or is it the pedagogical motivation, or it is the psychological motivation of the teacher, or it is the love of the teacher? So what can you see? Left hand above, the first one.
It seems like a psychological motivation, I think.
It is the love of the teacher to the what? To the students, yes? So
students.
we have their, we can say, responsibility. The responsibility is here happens because of what? Because this is the class where all the students, the rest of the students, they have peers to work with. But this girl, she didn't have a peer, you see? And this teacher, she's Aziza Yurmamadova. I think you know her very well. So she's sitting with her and she's working with her, not to give her that she's alone in the class. And this is the responsibility of the teacher, being open-minded and at the same time wholeheartedness. She worked with her, because here where they have the subject, there was reading and it is a little bit difficult. So in order her not to feel herself uncomfortable, so she create for her an atmosphere that she feels, or she felt herself very very happy, and she didn't feel that she's working with the teacher. Another one that we have here, so this is the class that you have in the another angle. You can see here that boys and girls are working together. This is their class, and this is the only girl who was alone, and she immediately joined her and she said that we work together, you see. And it doesn't show that the task wasn't only for the students. The task was, I mean, it concerns also the teachers, so the teachers also can be the students, so they can help their students. Another class is here, the teacher is giving the ball to the girl, and you see the age difference between teachers and students, you see. The teacher doesn't give the students the opportunity to feel themselves that he is enough, we can say, enough experienced, and he's older than them, like 3 times or 5 times, 6 times, I don't know how many times older than them, and he just sit next to them and he was playing with them, you see, and they're all happy and they express their thoughts, they express what they think, they slightly gave their questions and their answers, and they felt themselves very, we can say, open. They didn't hide their emotions. Here the teacher, what did she say? Here the teacher, when she was asking the question, and she joked with them, and while joking with them, asking the question, they immediately answered to the question, raised up their hands, and this joke made them to feel themselves free. So they weren't afraid to answer the question. So all of them said, should they, can I answer? And this is the motivation of the teacher, you see. And the last one, where the teacher and a girl are working, it isn't in the class, it is in the office. We can say it is the teacher's room. And this girl, she was sick, you see, she was sick and she couldn't come to the lesson, and she came and asked the teacher to help her with the topic that they had already. And he didn't say that I don't have time, so you were not in the class, So what did he do? He helped her with a lesson that she missed. And overall, looking at these photos, and I see that, and I'm very sure that all teachers, so they do it. So they have the passion to give the knowledge. They have the passion to give everything to their students while they're entering into the class. And sometimes teachers don't need erasers, they don't need markers, they don't need papers, handouts, books. They can teach without everything, but if they have those three components, the lesson will be great, you see? So this is the most important thing that you have to do in your classes. And I think that sometimes we have to go into the position of the students. Nowadays they work very hard, and things that I do sometimes, I don't give them homework. If I see that we work in class and we work with the result that I wanted to get, so I see the result, I say that for the next lesson, no homework. And you know, when they leave the classroom, they're the happiest people in the world. They feel themselves, they're very happy. So I don't give them homework. And when they come next lesson, from the homework, I just give them cards to do it for 5 minutes, and they do it very, we can say quickly, in 5 minutes, because they didn't have homework, and they don't feel that you didn't give them homework, and you're giving them the homework at the beginning of the lesson just to check what did you do in the previous lesson. So I'm very hope that it was a very fruitful webinar, and you will use it. And I think that you have already had it in your classes. So it means that except of your papers, books, we can say erasers, markers, you also have to bring these three things into the classroom in order to be a very great and experienced teacher. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ganjina. It was really insightful, and I'm sure like the audience have some takeaways from today's webinar. And we have a couple of more minutes. Please, we are waiting for your questions. If you have any questions, to our speaker, all those who are watching us on Facebook or Zoom, please pass your questions to us. Okay. If no questions, we understand that it's already iftar time.
Yes, it's iftar time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining, and we wish you happy iftar, and once again Ramadan Kareem to all of you. And we will be waiting for you to join our next week Thursday webinar.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Active engagement, and huge thank you to our speaker today.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.